Of course, in Miracles, we're reading the Song of Prayer, and Soo's gonna read. Is this part one? What are we on?
Yes, part one.
Uh,
True prayer. Prayer is a way offered by the Holy Spirit to reach God. It is not merely a question or an entreaty. It cannot succeed until you realize that it asks for nothing. How else could it serve its purpose? It is impossible to pray for idols and hope to reach God. True prayer must avoid the pitfall of asking to entreat. Ask rather to receive what is already given, to accept what is already here.
Yeah, the most prayer is you want to get God to do something. Please make them do what I say. You know, that kind of stuff.
Please let me get this job.
Please let me get this job. Please let me get this boy. Please make the boy go away. Please. On and on. But the Course points to a reality that's already complete. And so everything that is wrong is really just a releasing of my judgment of why it's wrong and bad. And that's where my suffering comes from. Which really messes up my plans, to be honest. You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Been foiled again.
Foiled again.
You have been told to ask the Holy Spirit for the answer to any specific problem, and that you will receive a specific answer if such is your need. You have also been told that there is only one problem and one answer. In prayer, this is not contradictory. There are decisions to make here, and they must be made whether they be illusions or not. You cannot be asked to accept answers which are beyond the level of need that you can recognize. Therefore, it is not the form of the question that matters, nor how it is asked. The form of the answer, if given by God, will suit your need as you see it. It is merely an echo of the reply of His voice. The real sound is always a song of thanksgiving and of love.
It is pointing to this progress and this experience that we want to have. Because the reality is everything that we're experiencing is what we wanted to experience at some level, right? There's the really finite personality level, you know, my Jevon that freaks out that my business isn't doing good, you know, regardless of the reality of my life, my superficial life, not even my ultimate life. Like, everything's fine today, and I can freak out like a crazy person. I can even tell people why I shouldn't freak out and still freak out. And be in my Course in Miracles lesson with all my Course friends, and we're all discussing the insanity of freaking out, and then immediately going to freak out after I start my day. And I want that experience. And the reason I know I want that experience is it's what I'm having. And so what could there be value in that? You know, could it be the thing that I want right now or need right now? What does it say?
The level of need.
Yeah, it's like the level of need. And it's kind of like at some point in the Course, it talks about how you would not want to be woken up abruptly from your dream, as it would be a terror that wouldn't be preferable. unpreferable terror. Like, okay, well, that does sound unpreferable terror, an unpreferable terror. And so instead, what happens is the Holy Spirit, the voice of God, which is what we hear in the dream, which is what we experience as the Holy Spirit, is gently bringing us back awake. And in our life, that could be a number of things. That could be this lesson. That could be a friend. That could be you know, something you get at church. It could be all these things that give us a moment of peace and that reminds us, oh, this is not the thing I'm looking for. And if it's not, then it opens me up a little bit. It opens my grasp on my plan that I'm like gripping. I have to have this dollar amount. I have to have them do this or that. My kids do this or that. My spouse, my significant other, I have to have my boss, all these things I have to have them do or not do. It's not like they're bad requests, but the thing that makes it so painful is like I grab onto it. And if it doesn't happen that way, which is attachment, then I suffer. And so the only thing that the whisper is showing me is just like let go of the have to. Let go of the have to. How could this be perfect? How is your life already perfect underneath the frantic paddling of trying to make it different?
What is whatever is driving you to cling on to that? Like, what belief are you?
Yeah. What is the
Like,
belief?
what are you believing that you lack? Right.
What am I believing that I lack? Yeah. Which is the basis of the Enneagram. All the temperaments have they have their particular what's that called? Their particular disposition, of what they like to go to, right? The ones say it's not right, I'm going to make it right. The twos say they need my help. They need to be fixed. I want to help them. The threes say there's not enough. I'm going to achieve and make it right. The fours say it needs to be different and unique and special and more beautiful and more creative. The fives, I need to learn more. There's not enough to know. There's not enough knowing. I need to learn. The six say that it's dangerous. I need to protect my special little crew. Everybody else I need to keep away. And the sevens are like, it's not interesting enough. I need something different. I need something special. I need something more fun, more lively, more life, more different. The eights say I need to protect against the bad guys, and I will overcome them. And it makes me so angry that they're against they're against what's right and pure, and I will roll over you for justice sake. And the nines are like, can't we all just get along? No.
Bikers, I'll take care of them.
Everybody's not getting. That's bad that everyone doesn't get along, and so we all focus on those, all that wrongness, all that offness. But we love that it's not off because then it distracts us from the darkness. It distracts us from the darkness so that we can stay separate. Because more than anything, we want to stay special and separate. I want to stay Jevon. That's my ultimate goal.
There's a t-shirt that says that. Stay Jevon.
That would be a good t-shirt.
It goes with the Awake with Jevon series. It's called Enlightened Clothing.
It'd be maybe like stop being Jevon would be helpful. Let Jevon go.
You could have one for each number in the system. So I'm a 1 today. Here's my Jevon number 1 t-shirt. I'm an 8. I'm an 8 today. Here's my number 8 t-shirt.
What did you said you're an 8?
You have a t-shirt for each number. So whatever you are that day, if you're a 1 or you're a 7.
Do you know which number you are, Brian?
I'm different all the time. Which one he said I'm one of those each day. I'm a different one.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely embody all of them. That's for sure.
I mean, if I'm bored, if I'm bored with one, I switch to another one or something. In my mind.
Yeah.
So I can relate to all those that he just named off.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that is comforting and is the hope in the moment is that last verse is the real sound is always a song of thanksgiving and a song of love. So behind all of my struggle is a song of thanksgiving and love that's always going. That no song of heaven, not even a note in the song of heaven was missed while I was supposedly gone. That's what atonement is that it's okay. It's okay right now. It's already okay. It's going to be okay. I tell myself that all the time. I don't want to stress out about, failing my family. Everyone's going to end up on the street. It's my fault. And I'm like, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's going to be okay.
I used to have that on a radio talk show. It's called Egg Bach. Everything's going to be okay. And they had stickers and stuff. People had them on their cars. It was the Loman and Barkley radio show. It's like a drive time show in the mornings. And that was during the 70s, like around the time Carter was president, and times were like they are right now. Like gas prices were high and inflation was like through the roof. And these guys had a hit radio show, and this Egg Bach thing, they had pins and buttons and stickers for it.
I love
And
that.
yeah, it was like a bestseller and all that. Because
You bring that back.
yeah, it's kind of like one of those things when you say that, it reminds me of that.
Everything's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be okay.
I find the proof that it's not, but I can also find the proof that it is. It's all there. Got anything to want to add? Anything or keep reading?
I can keep reading.
Okay.
You cannot then ask for the echo. It is the song that is the gift. Along with it comes the overtones, the harmonics, the echoes, but these are secondary. In true prayer, you hear only the song. All the rest is merely added. You have sought first the kingdom of heaven, and all else has indeed been given you.
Mm-hmm. That's good. All the secondary things, it's really our experience. The way I take that is if I'm okay, if I'm ultimately okay, if everything is going to be okay, even I think more accurate, because that's a future tense statement. Everything is okay. Everything's going to be okay. It isn't okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
This sucks, but I'm going to have some hope and peace and faith that it's going to be okay. But there's an otherworldly state of being that you can say everything is okay when your personality has proof that it's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's otherworldly. There's the only way that can be a reality is if you're not your body, if you're not your personality. That's the only way that can be. It's an identification with something else. And so you can either make that up and just be delusional and make up an experience that you're not your body, or you can pay attention to just the subtle happenings that are always happening. The still small voice of God, it says in the Bible, or just the whisper of the Holy Spirit, like the Course talks about. And you'll be able to hear it. That's kind of what meditation training is helpful for, is you can hear or tap into the real experience right now that's available to us. Like when I meditate, it's so euphoric. Like it feels like I'm on a drug, and I don't do it very often because I'm too busy. I'm a crazy person, so I won't meditate. I'm like, that's too wonderful. I'm gonna go and beat myself up instead because I got too much to do. Not time to meditate. And so right here, right now, is that state of being. It's a natural state of being that's covered up with my frantic activity, which are just thoughts. Here's what I found. You have sought first the kingdom of heaven, and all else indeed will be given to you. And the reason that's true is that we already have it all. That's why that is true. All right, 4.
The secret of true prayer is to forget the things you think you need. To ask for the specific is much the same as to look on sin and then forgive it. Also, in the same way, in prayer, you overlook your specific needs as you see them and let them go into God's hands. There they become your gifts to him, for they tell him that you would have no gods before him, no love but his. What could his answer be but your remembrance of him? Can this be traded for a bit of trifling advice about a problem of an instant's duration? God answers only for eternity. But still, all little answers are contained in this.
There's nothing wrong with going for what you want. And this is kind of like complete adherence to God's will. Like when I was in my more religious circles, it was just like, do God's will, repent, like that. But that usually was in the context of do what I want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a religious circle. You need to do this. Do God's will. What I'm telling you to do. It's saying that, but which, when someone else is doing it, you kind of sacrifice. You're like, all right, I'll do what you want because it's God's will. And I'll give up what I want to do and surrender. So it's saying that, but there is no one thing that is the better way. It's just giving up the thing that I think I need, like this particular way, because it's my attachment to a particular result that is the source of my suffering. So Jesus is saying, hey, just give up all those specifics, because whether you get them or not, you're going to be in the same thing you're doing right now. No matter what you achieve, you're going to end up like almost exactly like you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
There were some Mormons that came up to me a couple days ago and asked me that question, like, do you want to follow the will of God?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, there's a lot of presuppositions in that question. One of which is that it's possible to disobey, to go against the will of God.
That's a good conversation. I have Mormon friends and I have these conversations with them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, do you think there are levels? Okay, great. Well, there's this left-hand path and a right-hand path, and the levels to get to God are actually more of a left-hand path concept. I don't know about that. Like, you want to talk about it.
Yeah. They were like, God is all loving. And I was like, God is love.
That's an interesting concept. Distinction too. Good.
Yeah. Because I think right before I said that, I forget what they said, but I was like, you do realize God is not a person, right?
Well, not in the Mormon religion, God is a person. At least the local God is a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe there's.
But we all know that in order to be a person, you have to have a perspective, and you can't have a perspective if you are all knowing.
Oh, dang. Got to the quick of things. It's really interesting. Mormonism is it's a really fun religion because it kind of goes into the spiritual evolution that a lot of spiritual people get into. You know how you can get all the dimensions, right? Or the densities from the law of one, like involved in the densities. And the Mormon architecture of development is very similar. How you can kind of go and the whole as God was, you will be, and as God, there's a quote that says something like that, like as we are, God once was, and as God is, we will become. And it's pointing to we will evolve and be God on another planet. But then I've never read this part, but it just goes to say that there's got to be something more evolved than you, right? This other evolution. It's bigger. Maybe the creator of all of it, whatever. Anyway, we get off track, but the point is, it's this forever achievement thing.
Mhm.
And God answers only for eternity.
I like that.
There isn't anything to get to.
Right.
The highest, so one of the things I've been really toying around with and thinking about and reminding myself is the highest state for a human while you think you're in a body. The highest state is contentment. That's the highest state. Because our suffering comes from the lack of contentment, no matter, and then we attach to this thing that we think we are going to be satisfied with. And then in that, of course, there's, I want to be rich and famous, and, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and all that stuff. And that's going to help me out. But you can be attached to helping people. You can be attached to wisdom. You can be attached to loving service. You can be attached to anything.
Could be attached to teaching people. Ah.
Attached to teaching people. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is all me for sure. And no matter what you're attached to, no matter how good it is, it still causes suffering. And so
If we're to it, yeah.
If what?
If we base our identity on it, like if we are attached to it, right? Like not the doing of it.
Not the doing of it, yeah.
Yeah, not the doing of it, but the attachment to it. That's what causes suffering.
Yeah, because what is that attachment? The attachment is, this has to happen for me to be happy or content or
Lovable,
lovable.
deserving.
Yeah, all of the Enneagram temperament points. This has to happen for me to fill in the blank for my particular temperament. And so then it presupposes that you're not there. But the answers for God, it says at the end here, God answers only for eternity. Well, eternity points to atonement, which means you're already complete. There's nothing that you can gain. There's nothing you can lose. And so if God answers only for eternity, God doesn't answer for your requests for your attachment. It doesn't mean that they're wrong or bad. It's not bad at all. Like, what else are we going to do? This is the experience of all this spinning of activity and accomplishment stuff that we do, and correcting stuff and, saving and taking and conquest. And it just means that it's not God's will for you to get it, because God's will is for you to be who you are. And the only way you can be for who you are is to remember there is no accomplishment. There is no thing that you can get or to lose. If God's will is you be who you are. And so the whole game in God's answer to eternity is to let go of my judgments of who I'm not. It's a negation game, not an addition game.
It's a negation game, not an addition game.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. Verse 5. Bam.
Right. Prayer is a stepping aside, a letting go, a quiet time of listening and loving. It should not be confused with supplication of any kind, because it is a way of remembering your holiness. Why should holiness entreat, being fully entitled to everything love has to offer? And it is to love you go, and it is to love you go in prayer. Prayer is an offering, a giving up of yourself to be at one with love. There is nothing to ask because there is nothing left to want. That nothingness becomes the altar of God. It disappears in him.
The highest state is contentment. What is contentment? I want nothing else. That's what contentment is. I want nothing else. When can you want nothing else? Is there a certain level that you have to achieve or become or change to want nothing else? Inherently, there's really nothing that has to happen for you to want nothing else. You can judge it and be like, I can't want nothing else. That's giving up. Or whatever else, which I've been saying lately. I'm like, I give up. I give up. I give up. Mercy.
That's what my grandmother used to say. She used to say, "Oh, Jesus, help me." That's my
Jesus help
brother.
me.
My
That's a
brother
wonderful.
would be running around the house, So Jesus, she'd like shout, "Jesus, help me."
Yes, that's such a wonderful thing to say. It really is. Jesus help me.
Just letting go, right?
I
Just
need
letting
to.
go. It's a tough thing to do when you want, we're so used to having control of things and
Yeah,
wanting control of things and being programmed that way and being controlled. We always want to try to gain the upper hand, on our slave masters because we got to work for the man, we got to make a paycheck, we got to pay the bills, got to do this, and that. It all throws back into that.
that's right.
Um,
You're much
conditions us.
master than my slave master. I
You
want
know,
master.
I became my own master.
That's right.
1099, baby. 1099.
I think it's important to note though that all these things we do are not bad, because you can definitely get on the bandwagon of uh you're bad, I'm good because I'm not doing this, or I'm bad because I can't stop. There's nothing wrong with going for what you want. There's nothing wrong with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. There's nothing wrong with a completely lascivious lifestyle, like the morality game. There's nothing wrong with being immoral, in my opinion. Now, of course, that goes against the very definition of immorality. Immorality is wrong. However, there's nothing wrong with it in the bigger scope of life because it's all an experience. And if you pay attention, most of the time, it's not working because you're engaging in the lascivious lifestyle, so to speak, whatever that is, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You're engaging in taking from others for you to gain because you think it's going to make you happy, because you think it's going to bring contentment. That's why you do it. So there's nothing wrong with it, but pay attention, and most likely you'll realize it's not working. And why?
You think a 5-year-old thinks it's going to be a good idea to run around and flail their arms in a store, and thinks it's going to be a good idea to stick a fork in a electric socket, but see what happens, right? It's not, you're not getting punished. It's just
it's repercussion.
happens.
Yeah, but I mean, last night my 8-year-old, he's so rambunctious, man. He's a funny kid and he drives me nuts. He wouldn't go to bed. He won't go to bed, and like there's a small window where Carol and I just sit on the couch before she goes to bed. I usually try to force myself to stay up because I hate going to bed. But she goes to bed because she gets up at 4 or something and goes to the gym, and she loves that. Anyway, so we're sitting there and they wouldn't go to bed. I'm like, oh, I was telling Karen, you need to figure out a way to punish this kid and inflict some harm on him in a way that he feels like he's losing something. We need to make him go to bed. And I'm like, I can't inflict it. I'm gone for work all day. How am I supposed to inflict the pain tomorrow? She's like, oh, we'll figure something. I'll take away something. All right, yeah, take it away. Make it horrible for him. And so, but that's so funny, right? Just in life, instead of me accepting the situation and getting curious or getting off the couch or go talking to him or being thankful I have such a funny kid, or I don't know, whatever, I'm gonna
Or a kid that's exactly like you,
or a kid
since
that's,
you just admitted to not wanting to go to bed.
yeah, the kid's just like me. He is like me in a lot of ways, for sure. Especially that, right? And so what am I going to do? I'm going to enforce my will. And in the enforcing, I'm confirming that I don't have what I want. And if I don't have what I want, I'm attached to a different outcome. I suffer. And man, do I suffer, right? Because of that. Wow. It's silly to talk about it because you're like, oh, kids go to bed. That's not a big life problem. But among my days suffering, that's like usually top of my list.
That sounds like a terrible problem, because all you want to do is have some quality time, whether to yourself or with your partner, and you're just can't.
I know.
That sounds horrible.
Thank you. I appreciate that confirmation. So, but this is life, right? It's all these little things that I resist when it doesn't change. I think it's great if something happens and you engage in it different and you change it to get what you want. It's like, no, I don't want to buy your service. Like, well, have you thought about this? Oh, I never thought about that. Okay, now I'll buy your service. It's great. Like, change and shift and try to get what you want. But what the course is talking about is my resistance to what's happening, my attachment to something else, and it actually gets me stuck, and I have an inability to change. And it makes me less likely to actually get what I want or my particular goal. Because I'm stuck, I'm attached. Concrete boots. And then I'll just, oh, and then for me, I just start to yell in that situation usually. It's really great. I love yelling. But that anger, right, it has to come through me and expressed. And so I suffer from that anger. I am always the one who suffers from that anger because I don't like the way it feels. I'm so aware of what it's like to not feel that way. The states of forgiveness and the letting go are so much more peaceful. The content experience is really pleasant compared to those fearful or anger states. And in order for me to engage the world in fear or anger, it has to come through me. I have to have that experience. I inflict myself. And thinking about it, why do I do that?
Well, because then what's the point of having goals if you're not going to fight for them?
Well, can you fight for your goals without being attached to them?
The path of least resistance.
Because can you do that? Can you actually be a really good salesperson, really good underwriter, really good an entrepreneur, really good a practitioner, healing practitioner, really good
parent,
really good parent, really good spouse? All these things involve goals and accomplishing and learning and growing and changing and shifting. Can you do all that without being attached to the outcome?
But having quality time with yourself or whoever, that seems like I don't know. Yeah, that seems like is that a goal in and of itself that you're
Sure. I think so. So is it helpful for me to get angry, or so I need quality time? It's like, okay.
Because if you don't get angry, then it's like, well, then you didn't even have the goal anyway. You didn't care about it.
It's like you didn't earn it.
If I didn't get angry,
if you didn't suffer for it, you didn't earn it.
So you're saying,
or like you don't want it that.
Anger shows I care. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Siri's telling me about anger in the background. It's really funny. How's it? Alexa, off.
Oh.
Thanks, Alexa.
Oh,
You're so helpful.
Now Siri from my phone's talking.
But if you're not
all
suffering, then you're not, you're not suffering for it, then you don't deserve it, right? I mean, you feel like if you're suffering for it, you're earning it.
Like if you don't want it, yeah, like if getting something that you wanted taken away from you doesn't make you angry, then did you ever really want it to begin with?
Well, it's definitely easier to get triggered if you really, really want it, for sure. But is my anger, in this case, required to go after something and it doesn't work? Is anger required? Is it possible to really, really want something and to be fluid as you go after it? As in, I'm not stuck. Something doesn't work, I shift. An obstacle is in my way, I don't try to plow through it, which is kind of more of an anger tactic. Instead, I shift and become different. What does work? I try something different.
I should go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what should I do?
That would actually be probably helpful. And then are you, because this is definitely an 8 conversation, is 8's use anger. 8's use anger as a tool, and the anger is actually it's a sign of authenticity for an 8. It's like, hey, if you're not passionate and super upfront and clear and presenting what you think forcefully, well, then you're obviously inept, useless, get out of my way. Like, and 8's can go there pretty easy.
Not forcefully, more like with your whole conviction.
Yeah, right. So I mean, eights have but that's the same power for an 8 in particular, that they're able to be a stronghold for a whole community. Like they're very strong. They love to defend and take care of people that need them, which is a beautiful thing. The question is that the experience you want? If it is the experience you want, if it feels good to be angry, there's nothing wrong with being angry. But if you want the state of contentment, that isn't the state of anger. What I'm saying is, I don't want the state of anger. I don't like it. If you like it, well, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. But yet I revert back to the state of anger to try to get what I want, because I don't want to get my ass off the couch and walk upstairs and, give my little probably 8-year-old boy a hug and tell him I love him and kiss him and put him in bed, which he melts when I do that. It's harder for me, especially when I'm finally on the couch after my day of beating myself up. So more than anything about all this, which is like tactical ways of letting go, more than anything is just to watch yourself, because we all have our tricks. We all have our funny little ways of doing things. And contentment and peace and happiness is available right now. And whatever the story is that you're telling yourself, talking to Jevon right now, whatever the story is that you're telling yourself that you can't have it right now, that's the thing to let go. And there's no reason to stop going for what you want, because what else are we going to do? We're still going for it, but I don't have to be attached to not having the thing right now. And I also don't have to be attached to the way that I'm doing it to get there. And also, I don't need to even stop the way I'm doing to get there, because often it's repetition and being consistent that will get me there anyway. But the attachment just makes me suffer along the way if I stay attached.
Exactly.
What do you think about that, Sue? And then the anger thing. What came up for you?
Yeah, I mean, I am realizing more and more anger is not. I think it was cute when I was 20, in my 20s.
She's feisty. Cute, angry girl.
Yeah. And yeah, it's yeah. But you're right, yeah, anger. Even yeah, it still needs to be contained in a way, I think, in order to really be effective. And I guess, yeah, like, oh, so I guess what I was part of what I was saying is like, well, what's the proof that something really matters to you if you're not going to get angry about it? And then it's like, well, then why do you have to prove that something actually mattered to you and not just, yeah.
Yeah. Could something matter to you and you not get angry? Well, not if in your criteria you have to get angry. Like, no,
Not if,
that's the way I'm showing you that this
yeah.
works. You're like, really? That
Like
has
you
to
have to be
happen?
willing to fight for it. Yeah. And what are you going to be willing to fight for if you're not angry about it? But you don't have to be fighting for it. It could still, yeah, I think, okay.
That's
Okay.
right. The
Something to do
eights
with
love to
proving.
fight. My little eight, he loves to fight. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's something he wants to fight about it.
Yeah.
He'll ask for ice cream and I'll be like, oh, we don't have that one. We have this ice cream. He's like, what? I'm like, whoa. I said, yes, man. I said, yes, you can have ice cream. We're fighting about this. I can't, he just like launches into this battle. He loves it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Does
the
he
joys of
also,
being eight.
yeah, like, does he also, even if he was about to do something, you tell him to do it and he doesn't want to do it anymore?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's kind of a kid thing in general, but this guy he's extra battle mode all the time.
Hmm.
He gets over it really fast though too. He'll be just like, okay. After like a crazy battle, like I'm pulling his toenails out with a plier, it's like, what is going on with this wild kid? But you can see it. And passionate, people like fours, for example, the temperament four, they like to be passionate. So everything has to be super dramatic all the time. They love the drama. And so they'll create the drama in their life all the time just because they think that it's what makes life like so they'll term it like it needs to be passionate. We just need the passion in life. And usually those guys, the stereotypical four, they're like goth, right? They're dark and gloomy and creative and artistic, and they create incredibly beautiful things for sure. But they're just in really, really, really dark places all the time because it has to be special. Their special, separate uniqueness is more important than anything else. And that's the source of suffering, is the special, separate part of us. And if they want to be extra special and extra separate, then they get extra forms of our special suffering.
Narcissists are like that too.
Uh,
The worst thing for a narcissist is to be ordinary.
oh,
Mhm.
So is that gourmet suffering then?
these are all me. Yeah, that's right.
Special.
Gourmet suffering. So watch
I like
yourself. I can watch myself, and you'll notice your racket. You'll notice that my lack of contentment comes from my own doing. My own goal is really so disappointing. I thought my goals were going to make me so happy.
You're talking about being consistent.
Yeah,
And
no,
just,
yeah.
and if you put the intention out there without expectation, that's where you can achieve these goals without putting the pressure on it and creating that tension and that stress, that anger, and
Yeah.
just letting it go. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do in my day-to-day, life. I just go with the flow of my schedule. I don't set it with like any goals in mind. I set it with people come to me with certain things Like, can you come to this meeting? Can you do that? Like yesterday, I spoke to a group of people about Fountain Valley, and yeah, I just put it on my schedule and I go do that. And then next thing you know, people, oh, hey, can you come do this for us? And then I realized, hey, maybe I can get a consulting gig, out of something with these developers because they want to do a entitlement project.
Yeah.
And they need somebody in that area that has some expertise. So just by putting myself out there and going to these different places, I just encounter these things. So
Go with the flow, man. I would like to go with the flow. I'm kind of bad at that. Well, I'm good at that. I'm good and bad at that.
unless I'm on the freeway or on, you cut me off
Yeah.
on Warner or something, that's,
Really,
and
Brian comes out.
there's a few certain people that, that I don't want to get the best of me. They're
yeah.
out there trying to show me they're better than I am. And
Yeah, you let those guys have it.
I'm not gonna let them get away with that.
Do
Yeah, they're
not
trying
let
to
them-
get in there and
Don't let them get away with that.
show me how they can backdoor me and
Oh,
override my decision making
the
abilities.
worst.
Yeah. So I gotta constantly block that back door.
You do. Have to.
Say, hey, nope, sorry, you're not getting in that way. I told you you couldn't do that.
Right.
Trying to, what I tell you, you couldn't do that, but you're trying to do it anyway. So shame.
All right,
So,
I think we did it. Anything else?
must be Friday.
All right, go forth and be what was the thing? Content. That's right. I had all the things I had to do in my mind, so forgot I had to be content. All right. Thanks, guys.
You too. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
You have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.